If you're asking how to be more feminine, you've already been misled, because femininity is not something you add. It's something that returns when you stop overriding yourself. Hi love, I'm Christina. I help women stop living in survival mode and come back home to themselves. Most advice about femininity is useless. It tells women what to wear, how to speak, and how to soften their voice, and how to act receptive, and how to perform calm. Ooh la la. This is not femininity. This is behavior modification, and modern women are exhausted because they are being asked to perform femininity on top of lives that require constant self-protection. So let me tell you this clearly. You do not become more feminine by changing how you look. You become more feminine by changing how safe your body feels inside of itself. Femininity is not a personality trait. It's not like, oh, I'm feminine or you're not feminine. If you're born a female, you're feminine. It's your innate birthright. It's not a role. It's not submission. It's not aesthetics. Femininity is a regulated nervous system state, and it is the ability to be present without bracing, to receive without disappearing and being small, and to slow down without panicking. You gotta feel without shutting down. Now that is femininity. You gotta be seen without performing. If that feels hard, it's not because you are doing femininity wrong. It's because you learned to survive in a world that rewarded the opposite. Modern women learned early that to be safe, you must be competent, you must be productive, you must be emotionally contained and always in control. You gotta be self-sufficient, and you gotta be always prepared. These traits were necessary. They kept you protected, but they also disconnected you from your body. So when women say, I want to be more feminine, what they really are saying is, I want to soften without being hurt. And that is a nervous system question, not a style question. Now, here's what actually makes a woman more feminine. She stops rushing herself. Number one, rushing is not ambition, it is anxiety. A feminine nervous system moves at pace that the body can inhabit. She speaks slower, she pauses, she allows silence, she lets moments land, not because she's trying to be soft, but because her body is not in threat. Second, she stops over-explaining. Over-explaining is not clarity, it is self-doubt. A feminine woman trusts that her truth does not need justification. She states, she does not negotiate her reality, and she does not perform certainty. Her groundedness does all the talking. Third, she learns to receive without guilt. Receiving compliments, receiving support, receiving money, receiving rest, receiving attention, receiving visibility. If receiving makes you uncomfortable, this is not humility. This is conditioning. Femininity lives in the ability to receive without shrinking to compensate for anything. Now, fourth, she listens to her body before her conditioning. Her body knows when something is off, her intuition, her guts. Her body knows when something fits or not. Her body knows when she's tired or when the body is tired. And her body knows when it's a no or a yes. Femininity returns when a woman stops overriding that information. Now that takes us to the fifth element. She regulates before she reacts. Masculine survival responds immediately, it reacts. Feminine presence responds from containment. She breathes first, she grounds first, she feels first, not because she's passive, but because she's sovereign. Now, six, she holds boundaries without force, without shame. A feminine boundary is not loud, it's steady. She does not argue her limits. She does not chase understanding and being accepted. She does not over-justify to everybody. Her nervous system is settled enough that her no does not need to be aggressive. 7, she allows herself to be seen without performing. Femininity is not hiding, it is inhabiting. It's embodiment. She does not contort herself to be palatable. She does not shapeshift to be chosen by everybody. And she does not disappear. When attention arrives, she stays. And here's the part that most people avoid saying or even knowing or even acknowledging. You cannot become more feminine while living in a constant state of self-abandonment. I'm sorry. Femininity collapses and disappears every time you betray yourself to keep the peace and to people please. Every time you say yes when your body says no, and every time you shrink to be liked, every time you choose survival over truth, that is self-abandonment and that is self-betrayal. So how to actually become more feminine? You stop asking how to act feminine and start asking how to feel safe in your body again. Your body remembers, because femininity is what remains when your nervous system no longer needs an armor, is no longer in war, in surviving. This is why hustle culture disconnects women from femininity. It trains urgency, it trains self-worth or the lack of self-worth through the output, like how much do you give? That's how your worth is measured. It trains constant readiness. Femininity requires the opposite. Femininity requires presence, receptivity, embodiment, containment, and that cannot be forced. Inside Own Your Femininity, this is the work we are doing. Not teaching women to soften by instructions, but teaching the body how to feel safe enough to soften naturally. And inside your Own Your Visibility program, this becomes the foundation for being seen. Own your femininity first, then own your visibility. This is the foundation for being seen without collapsing, without performing, or without disappearing and giving up on yourself. Femininity is not something you add to your life. It's what comes back when you stop living in survival. You do not need to become someone else. You need to come home to yourself. And when you do, femininity is no longer confusing. It becomes familiar. I will meet you inside when you're ready.